Did I fool you? In gaming culture, nothing hurts more than when you complete a game, but you're left thinking the game left more to be desired. You want more. Well, what are you gonna do? Mod the game? Of course you can't. You're too stupid.
Hey! I'm a modder!
You're just a Discord mod, not a Discord modder. Anywho, DLC. The ultimate moneymaker for game studios. DLC takes the form of all shapes and sizes. Story expansions, multiplayer features like skins, cosmetics, and even game currency. In 2024, DLC has become such a prominent feature that it's garnered a negative reception from gamers alike, claiming game studios have taken the feature to their benefit and sometimes force you to buy additional content to be able to even play the game properly. But it didn't even used to be like this way back in its early conception. During the dinosaur age of the gaming was still very much in its infancy, but the most popular form of gaming at the time was the Atari VCS. Atari at the time thought of a concept of downloading games straight to the console via dial-up, and teamed up with Control Video Corporation to create GameLine, a dial-up distribution service. You could call via a telephone line and have games sent directly to your console. It was a very neat feature, and it was practically decades ahead of its time, which made it very uncool. It costed over $60 for the whole kit, and an additional $15 fee, so you had to pay $1 for the game that you could only have for a short amount of time, so the DLC wasn't really DLC, it was trial runs. Either way, despite its failure, it was the start of what would soon be a revolution. Fun fact, the other company that helped them, Control Video Corporation, went on to become AOL. Awesome. The next revolution in DLC would come from none other than Sega. In 1994, Sega launched the Sega Channel with the help of TCI and Time Warner Cable for the Sega Genesis. At the time, the Genesis was on its way out, and the Saturn was being developed. Sega, however, wanted to stretch the Genesis' life as far as possible. I mean, they released 3 revisions of the console, the Sega CD and the Sega 32X, and don't get me started on the Sega CDX. Sega Channel was their last attempt at stretching out the Genesis' life. The service cost over $15 monthly, alongside a whole $25 fee for activating the damn thing. The channel would have about 50 to 70 Genesis games for users to download to their consoles monthly. Cheat codes and game hints were included too. The service ended up failing to meet Sega's expectations. They initially anticipated over 1 million subscribers, but only 200,000 subscribed instead. It was ultimately discontinued in 1998. Despite that, the legacy and impact of the Sega Channel is unprecedented. The service influenced cable service to improve their speed, and the idea of downloading games via a service like the Sega Channel would carry on to networks like Xbox Live and the PlayStation Network. More on that later. It was a neat concept, but was made too soon. Sega would later influence DLC yet again with the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast is considered to be one of the greatest and most underrated consoles of all time. Not only did it make online support a standard with SegaNet, it also supported, for real this time, game DLC. Not just games you could download to a console via dial-up. No, you could literally download DLC, though only for a select few games due to the limited size, especially on the VMU. The Dreamcast memory card. Overall, the Dreamcast was the one that put the battery in the gaming industry to pursue DLC and the potential it could bring to the table at the time. But in my opinion, the one that truly hit the bullseye directly was Xbox Live. When the Xbox launched in 2001, one of its main selling points was its online service. Not only could you play online, but you could add friends, message, invite to games, and download tons of DLC. You could also buy Xbox Live Points, which launched in 2005 and was Microsoft's then at the time digital currency that carried on to the Xbox 360 and for a moment the Xbox One before being discontinued. Unfortunately, the Xbox Live service for the OG Xbox was discontinued on April 15, 2010, which made a lot of DLC on the OG Xbox lost media. Overall, the Xbox Live service became an instant hit and became standard for any Xbox user to have. In 2022, Xbox reported there were over 120 million users that used Xbox Live, proving the success of the service. The PS2 and the GameCube did have online compatibility, but it was extremely limited and only a select few games even supported it, let alone have DLC. So, let's fast forward to 2006, when the Xbox 360 launched Xbox Live, and the PS3 launched with the PlayStation Network, Sony's answer to Xbox. Unlike Xbox Live at the time, which required gold membership to play online and invite friends and such, PSN service was completely free. There was a premium service, PlayStation Plus, but it was mainly for exclusive content and early access to games. By this point, DLC was 100% standard. Almost every game had it, especially shooter games. Almost everybody who had an Xbox or PlayStation had Call of Duty, especially World at War, because of its Zombies mode. People wanted more, so Treyarch launched DLC content for both the Zombies mode and the multiplayer mode, and a bundle that included everything called the Map Pack bundle. This was such a hit around my part of town that even my mom and my uncle were in on it. The most popular form of DLC was the buy one get all bundle, like the Map Pack bundle. As a kid, I never was really into DLC, besides for games like Marble Blast Ultra's online multiplayer DLC, Small Arms additional characters and maps bundle, and Cloning Client's additional clones DLC. You probably don't even know what the hell these games are, so watch my episode on Xbox Live Arcade. Click right there if you haven't seen it. By this point, DLC was a major hit and trend, and rightfully so, because the content it contained made it genuinely worth it. So, where do we go from here? 2017. Dear God. This was the start of what I like to call the death of true DLC. Why is that? Well, games like Call of Duty and Fortnite introduced in-game currency, DLC that you had to buy the DLC.
This motherfucker got 43, 49,000. I'ma fuck you up. Get the fuck out. Get out. I'ma beat your fucking ass. Why you got 49 fucking thousand V-Bucks?
DLC for DLC. Huh. Most kids don't even realize that. Instead of aiming at adults who just wanted more stuff, they aimed at kids who wanted more stuff. To add even more to the injury, studios started adding paywalls to major content like game modes and nearly every character or skin and cosmetic item, making DLC nearly a necessity. You'd practically be forced to buy currency. Unfortunately, it was such a hit to children and now almost every game that has online service contains online currency. And that's where DLC is basically at as of 2024. A necessity to enjoy a game in its fullest. Every studio like Ubisoft, EA Sports, 2K Sports, Activision force these things down your throat, and this is why I stopped playing the new games and instead continue playing games on my Wii or even PS2. And they hate that. Game companies tend to shut down their legacy services and DLCs after a certain amount of time in order to force people to stick to the new stuff. It's unfortunate, but studios are like this. It gives them that juicy green. But I can't blame them, unfortunately, because if we were in their shoes, we'd do the same thing. We can't say no to additional revenue. It's gotten to the point where game studios are proudly giving out hash-finished products because they know that we'll purchase the DLC that they'll only release in spurts to edge us. I could almost say that it's killing modern gaming as we know it. It's making these games kind of boring and not fun. The very conception of DLC all the way back in 1983 is killing modern gaming. That's the bitter truth. What will the future of DLC bring to the table? Well, only time will tell. But for now, thank you all so much for watching this TED Talk. Comment, like, and subscribe. But for now, that's all you get. See ya.